What's your education platform, and how can we all be committed to young people getting an excellent education?
Yes, thank you. Gail, thank you for being here, and thank you for getting behind me and Michael when we were first starting City Year. And thank you for your extraordinary career. You're a role model for, I think, what it is we need to do, which is bring the private sector, the public sector, and the nonprofit sector together. You've worked in all sectors, and it's wonderful that you're leading Freedom House now, which was one of the first organizations we partnered with when we were starting City Year. Education is a civil rights issue for the 21st century. It is completely unacceptable that 10,000 young people have dropped out of Boston public schools, that 1 million young people in our country drop out of high school every single year. It's a moral issue and it's an economic issue. Just 10 days ago, Northeastern University, right here in Boston, an extraordinary university, put out a report that said for every young person that drops out, a majority of them will be unemployed in that age group, 18 to 24. They won't find work because they don't have the skills. And so their life path is thwarted. And they do end up, a number of them incarcerated, they do end up in other services. It costs us $298,000 for every single young person that drops out of high school. So it's also an economic issue. It doesn't make any sense. It costs us in services they need, in lost tax revenue, and most of all, it costs us in that lost potential. So this is a critical issue facing us. And it's not just the dropout issue. Only across the board, we need to turn this on into a sense of moral outrage and economic justice for our country. Here's what I would do. First of all, I'm very pro-teachers. We need to elevate the teaching profession to be the top profession in our country. I know that after my parents, it was my public school teachers who did the most to form my values, not just give me a great education, but form my values, encourage my idealism, encourage me in what I wanted to pursue in my life. And I'm sure if I had a chance to talk to every single one of you, you'd be able to tell me, teacher after teacher, that had a big impact on your life. Teachers, on average, get paid $42,000 to $48,000 a year. We're relying on our teachers to make sure that our children can access the American dream. Well, we have to make sure that our teachers can access the American dream. And that they can make a career out of it. That they don't just do it for 2 or 3 years, but that they can stick with it, because we need the most talented, quality people to go into teaching. On education, I am a reformer. I believe in innovation. I am a strong supporter of charter schools. The good ones that are working, we have to replicate them, we have to expand them, we have to lift the charter cap here in Massachusetts. There are excellent charter schools happening right here that want to expand. The ones that aren't working, we should close them down. They should compete just like everybody else. I'm a strong supporter of extended learning time. Chris Gabrielli, right here in Massachusetts, has pioneered this. We have the Edwards School right here in Boston that is showing this works. Longer school day, more time on task, bringing volunteers in. One of the things that we've done with City Year and with AmeriCorps is bringing citizen volunteers. Citizen Schools is another great example right here in Boston, what Bell's doing. That there's a citizen solution here also that we can bring in. So I'm a strong supporter of innovation and competition in our schools. And I also have a sense that this is an urgent problem. We can't be, yes, we're leading now in Massachusetts, but, you know, for some of our low-income students in schools, they're only at 25% proficiency. We're celebrating that they were at 18% and now they're at 25%. That means that 75% aren't proficient. That's not acceptable. So we have to have a greater sense of urgency about this. We're not going to be able to stay competitive in the 21st century. We're in an information age now. I also believe in tapping the private sector. I think we can use government resources to stimulate having a Kindle in every single backpack. Kindle was invented by Amazon. Yes, thank you. One person agrees with me. Think about this. We're going to save money because we're not going to have to produce on paper all of these textbooks and lesson plans that honestly are out of date within a year, given how quickly things are moving in the global economy. And if every single child had a Kindle in their backpack, all of a sudden you've empowered them to access all of the information in the world. With the right government policy and stimulus, we could accomplish that, and it would empower every single student. So I'm passionate about this. I've spent my career working on this. I think I've probably been in more public schools and public school classrooms than anyone else running in this race. But we all need to band together and say, this has to be a challenge for all of us in the 21st century. Thank you.